Budget-savvy spring makeover ideas with Mario Buatta's elegant English and vintage touches. Hi sweet friends, I'm Emma, and welcome back to Decor, your calming destination for home design that feels timeless, warm, and wonderfully personal. If you're new here, I'm so happy you found us. This channel is all about embracing beauty at home, even on a budget, and especially when we're leaning into history, charm, and vintage character. Today we're diving into something very close to my heart, a budget-savvy spring makeover, inspired by none other than the legendary Mario Buatta, the Prince of Chintz himself. His love of English traditional decor, romantic florals, and collected elegance brings such a cozy sophistication into any space. But the best part? You don't need a lavish budget to infuse your home with that graceful English charm. I'm here to show you how you can take simple, affordable ideas and spin them into a dreamy spring refresh filled with vintage soul and Buatta-inspired flair. Let's begin where all beautiful makeovers should, with the mood. Spring is a natural time of renewal, and Mario Buatta's aesthetic speaks to that perfectly. His rooms always feel like a fresh breeze flowing through an English countryside cottage. Ruffled linens, floral prints, soft lighting, and elegant antiques nestled in with humor and heart. When we're styling for spring on a budget, the mood we want is light, floral, and slightly theatrical. Start by choosing a few vintage fabrics. Think faded florals, ginghams, and soft pastels. You don't need yards and yards. Even a set of pillow covers or a thrifted curtain panel can be transformed into something new. Drape, layer, and let the textures bring the softness in. You'll already be halfway to Buatta's world of gentle opulence. One of my favorite tricks for a no-spin refresh is shopping your home. Mario Buatta often layered rooms with collected items, creating visual interest and storytelling. Look around your home with fresh eyes. Is there a vintage vase hiding in a cabinet? A plate with a rose motif? An old tablecloth with embroidery? Bring them out and let them shine. On a console table or dresser, group a few of these objects together to create a mini vignette. Add a floral teacup with a few fresh daisies, or a faux posy if real ones aren't handy. Buatta's rooms always celebrated imperfection, nothing too matched or forced. That's where the magic lives. Now let's talk color, because Mario Buatta was the master of gentle saturation. Think buttery yellows, celadone green, pale blush, and of course soft powder blue. These colors say spring in the most genteel way possible. You don't need to repaint your whole space. Small touches go a long way. Try swapping out a lampshade with a floral fabric cover, painting a small frame, or even adding ribbon trim in these hues to a plain curtain. I love using chalk paint on inexpensive thrift store finds. A side table or mirror frame becomes a sweet pastel accent, immediately lifting the room into a spring mood. Buatta's English-inspired touch was never afraid of romance, so embrace it with open arms. Another signature of Mario's design was his use of pattern, and lots of it. On a budget, that can feel intimidating, but here's a little trick: layering similar patterns in different scales. Start with a floral pillow, then add a gingham or toile. If you sew, amazing. If not, there are so many no-sew pillow slip covers, or even safety pin hacks to temporarily change things up. The goal is to mix gently, not overwhelm. Buatta once said that a room should feel like a garden, and spring is the perfect time to embrace that. Look for inexpensive floral art prints online, or print some public domain vintage flower illustrations, and pop them in mismatched frames. A gallery wall of blooms? That's a Buatta-worthy move. Let's step into the kitchen or dining space now. Spring makeovers don't have to be limited to living rooms or bedrooms. Buatta-style dining spaces feel like afternoon tea at a countryside manor. Start by layering your table with soft, ruffled or embroidered linens. A lace curtain panel from the thrift store makes a beautiful table topper. Add your prettiest mismatched dishes, especially if you have floral china or vintage teacups. For under $10, you can create a charming centerpiece with a faux flower bouquet in a chipped teapot or glass pitcher. Candlesticks, even brass ones that have tarnished, are perfect here. They add warmth and elegance, even if they're just decorative. Think comfort, heritage, and softness. Don't forget the power of fabric in unexpected places. One of Mario's genius styling secrets. If you've got open shelving or cabinets, consider lining the backs with floral contact paper, or even taped up wrapping paper in soft, botanical prints. A fabric skirt on a console or under a sink. Pure English cottage energy. And you don't need to sew. Fabric tape and a few safety pins go a long way. These simple, low-cost touches immediately transform the vibe of a room, adding softness and layers without heavy renovation. And you're not just decorating, you're storytelling, crafting a visual poem of spring. Now let's take a moment for the senses. Buatta's spaces were lush with scent and sound. They didn't just look beautiful, they felt beautiful. Add a soft-scented candle, lavender, rose, or gardenia are perfect spring options. Play soft classical or vintage jazz music in the background. Light your favorite candle, open a window, and suddenly, your home breathes a little lighter. These touches don't cost much, and yet they elevate the entire experience. Remember, decorating is never just about visuals. It's about creating comfort and joy for every part of you. Now that you've layered in all these budget-friendly touches, take a step back. Walk into your room and see it as a whole. Does it make you smile? Does it invite you to sit down and enjoy a cup of tea? That's your final test. A Buatta-inspired space isn't pristine. It's alive with personality. It has softness, humor, a little clutter, and a lot of charm. Let your home feel lived in and loved, like a dear old friend in a vintage dress. Whether you've spent $10 or nothing at all, what you've done is bring in beauty with intention. Thank you so much for joining me today on this soft and lovely journey through spring decorating with a nod to Mario Buatta's elegant English charm. It's proof that style doesn't have to cost a fortune. Just a bit of imagination, some gathered treasures, and the willingness to let your heart lead the way. I hope you're feeling inspired to look at your space with fresh eyes, to gather florals and fabrics, and to create a little storybook corner of your own. this inspired you to try a spring makeover with vintage touches, I'd absolutely love to hear what you'll do first. Share your ideas in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a moment of calm, charming inspiration here on Decor. Until next time, I'm Emma, and I'll be right here dreaming up our next cozy, budget-savvy design story together, sending you all the vintage floral vibes and springtime joy.